Dead Estate is a top-down roguelike shooter where you clear each room on your way through a spooky mansion. And trust me, there are plenty of enemies between you and getting the heck out of there, including a boss in every level with an extreme final boss. And even though Dead Estate is its own thing, the influences of Enter the Gungeon and The Binding of Isaac are obvious. There's an extremely competent game here that I want to tell you more about. So, in Dead Estate, you're moving through this mansion, going from the bottom floor to the top. When you enter a room with enemies, the doors lock, and you can only progress once you've killed everything in the room. And that even includes any new enemies that have spawned in. You do get to choose your path through, but you must find a key and finish the boss before an elevator can whisk you away to the next floor. The procedural generation isn't bad since it only relates to the order of the rooms and not the layout. But there is some running around, unless you get lucky and find a green diamond to teleport you back to the start. But that's only to the start and might not be near your final destination. The only reason this is important is when you take too long, a monstrous thing, delightfully called a chunk, shows up. That chunk will chase you around the level with complete disregard to almost every weapon you might have. You can get a slight reprieve in a shop, but don't worry, it will come back. The only way to escape is to continue on and find that boss. Keep in mind, Dead Estate is a beat it in one run kind of game. Every new run starts from the beginning. You gotta collect new items with a new mansion layout. There's nothing to make the run any easier. It's not that type of game. Dead Estate lets you loop a run during a run. Right before the final boss, you have a choice to repeat the entire run, keeping all the items you've already collected to grow even stronger before the final boss. But you are repeating the same content over and over and over. I worry about room variety and it getting stale quickly. I've definitely seen a lot of repeats. And when I did loop, it started to feel like grinding. However, this was the easiest difficulty, so I probably didn't need to loop, but I expect it to get old quickly. Anyway, the combat is what you see is what you get. This is a little twin-stick shooter since there's no ammo concerns combined with a bullet hell. I believe weapons with high rates of fire to be more powerful. Because Jules starts with a shotgun, it was a bigger challenge to finish the game. The other character, Jeff, uses a handgun, which took down enemies swiftly. Dead Estate has plenty of enemy types, and you never know what combination is going to be in a room. To spice up the combat, Dead Estate has a jump. It's a lot more useful than you might expect, jumping over projectiles and climbing over furniture to escape from enemies. And that furniture is somewhere between helpful and annoying. There is an item for double jumping and one that makes you faster in the air, and then the game gets nuts. Although you can get stuck behind some of the items and it's disorienting. The weapons in Dead Estate are strange. Sure, the starting weapons are normal enough. Jeff starts with a handgun and Jules starts with a shotgun, but you'll find at least a new side weapon on every level with limited ammo. The normal ones include an SMG, grenade launcher, and a minigun. The weird ones include tennis balls, a boomerang, and a guitar? Once your ammo runs out, the weapon is gone and any new weapons you pick up replaces this one. And if you really hate the weapon, you can destroy it for some gold. Items are another way your run will be different every time. There are all kinds of different ones. Some make your weapons more powerful, for example, increasing the size of your bullets, while other items are affecting your movement or give you a little pumpkin buddy that will attack enemies for you. Dead Estate works similar to other games where getting the right items early on can give you a significant boost on your run. You do find at least one item per level, but you can gain extra by finishing a challenge room or buying them from the shop. Now, I sort of touched on this already, but the isometric viewpoint can be a little distracting. The area ends up feeling a little tight with all the furniture and enemies. I enjoy seeing something new, and the largest issue is when the foreground objects block you from seeing enemies, especially smaller ones that come out of broken pots. I can't tell you how many times I've run into a slug that was hidden behind something. And there are some objects you can get behind that are larger than your character, where you'll lose the character and take damage. Anyway, there are 8 different characters, but only Jeff and Jules are available from the start. Finishing the game unlocks more characters, although I did find a new one on a run. They all start with different starting weapons and bonuses. One of the characters even has a completely unique set of weapons since they're magic based. It sure adds to the replay value. One thing to note before the end of this video is that you're going to be destroying a lot of pots. You might have noticed in this video how many pots I break. It's kind of a pain in the ass and it takes a long time, but it's the best way to gain health back besides buying it in the shop. There are even items to make it spawn more. I do wish the pots broke. Overall, Dead Estate is a fun take on a top-down action roguelike. It has good gameplay with a lot of value. It didn't exactly blow my socks off, but having 8 different characters to play sure does get it pretty close. It's a solid game, and the art is really well done, and I appreciate all the content. If you're looking to get into a small but repeatable game, I think you found your match. So these are the finishing lines of the video. I don't need any heck calling this a roguelike. Thanks for watching.